I'm Bethany Anderson of Bethany Heals, and if life's been lifing lately, then you found me just in time. This is a pause, a permission slip to just be. And before we begin, let me remind you, your healing isn't on a timeline. Around here, we don't hustle our healing, we honor it. Trust that your intuition brought you here for a reason. So let's drop into our next archive episode. Hello, loves, and welcome to our next guest episode here on Life.ing. I am so excited because one of my favorite people in the whole world, we get to spend a beautiful window of time with her. It is my amazing mentor, Kathryn Schiff. And Kathryn is a teacher of accessing your intuition and understanding it. She's an intuitive healer, spiritual teacher, and psychic guide, as well as the founder of Ground and Gold, a school dedicated to bringing practical tools of intuition and healing into everyday life. Her mission is to demystify the mystical and reveal that everyone has access to their own innate psychic and intuitive abilities and the power this holds. You know, transformation happens when we shift our energy, gain clarity, and trust ourselves. So welcome, Kathryn. We're so happy to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is such a treat and an honor. And I'm so excited that I get this window of time with you because you are the reason why I'm here today. In every form. I mean, it's that big of a deal.
I love this. I love it.
Yes. So for those of you that can't already catch on, after my car accident that I was in 2016, I was trying to find different modalities and ways to really heal myself and understand myself and what I was going through. And my therapist at the time recommended a meditation, just to try out meditation to help me get more present in my body. And the first class that I took was an intuitive healing meditation with Kathryn. And
Yes,
I literally never left her side.
Yep, I remember.
It was a Meet Your Spirit Guides class.
It was. Yes, yes. I love that. Oh, that was the best class. So much fun.
Yeah. And I was just like, what is this world? What is going on? It was the most beautiful experience because I felt like that was the first time I ever met myself. And I had never experienced something like that before. And I was just like, I need to dig in. I'm all in.
Yeah. That's what happens, right? I mean, that's what happened with me too, you know?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you experience yourself and what's available and you're just like, I want more. I want more of me and what I can access.
Yeah, definitely. That's actually what I was just about to ask. I really want to hear from you what got you into this world, like what opened this whole world up for you and why you've been doing it all this time.
Wow. There's just one answer. No, so much. Similar to you, I was struggling through something and through a lot of things just in my life. And I ended up in a class like Meet Your Spirit Guides. It was called, I can't remember what it was called. It was called something else. But I ended up in that class. It was very similar and it was intuitive healing tools. And I just, what was it called? Oh my gosh. It was like under the guise of self-healing. It was like intro to self-healing or something like that. I had no idea I was going to meet a guide, but I sat there and they helped me ground. And I had this experience of myself and I just felt like peaceful or whole or something, which was not how I'd been feeling. And I met a guide. I saw a guide in that class and I was like, this is amazing. Like I just knew it was like amazing and real and I had never experienced that before. And so that was it. I wanted more and I just kept going. Yep.
Wow. I love that. So similar stories. That's so funny.
Yeah.
How long did you do the work on?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
How long did you do the work on yourself before you kind of made it into a career?
Yeah, I, because I was coming out of like all this kind of challenge and like turmoil in my life and I was getting in that space, that meditative space, I took all these classes. So I would say it took me about, I don't know, 6 months to just 3 months, 6 months to just know like, this is what I really want to do all the time. It wasn't going to be a job, but I just wanted to be doing it every day. So I just kind of, signed up for everything and I went through all the programs. And so by the time I got through the level 1 program and then the level 2 program, I was in the leadership and teachers program. And I just signed up for that because I just wanted to keep going. I was like, I just want to keep doing this work and healing myself and, changing my life for the better. And it was very much like, practical tools. I was just using these kind of intuitive tools in my daily life. And I just wanted more. So I signed up for the teaching program, not to teach, but just to keep going. It was like a natural next step. And then the first class that I had to, practice teaching in, where you have to stand up and just use your voice that way in front of the fellow students, I remember it. It was like something like aligned, or, that's the best word I can think. Something like came into place where I was like, oh my gosh, this feeling of like using my voice this way. It just felt like, people are like, I want to be a dancer, or I want to be a, veterinarian. They know what they want to do. It was that moment for me. I was like, I want to do this. I want to teach this. And so I just kept going and learned to teach. And then after that, I was just doing sessions and assistant teaching for the first, year or so out, couple of years. Yeah. And then I started teaching classes on my own.
Wow. I love when everything just clicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's such a good feeling. We're like, oh, wow, I did make the right decision.
Yeah. It's validating, right? It's like, oh, okay. Because we don't always get that validation. And it's certainly not like obvious a lot of the times, most of the times. That was one of the first times ever that it was like really obvious.
Wow, that's so fun. I love that so much. So I was just thinking, well, we were just chitty-chatting about just intuition and spirituality and navigating life in general, and how, honestly, I don't think life is ever consistently just chill. Now that I think about it, I feel like we get these nice little moments where things are kind of just like plateauing. You get a nice little breather, and then it's like, boom, detour, boom, turn right. And then it's just, there's always this constant change that's happening.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I noticed that we never really settle into that change,
Mm-hmm.
It always seems to dysregulate us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you're constantly getting startled or shooken up again, and like having to start over or going back to that space again.
Yeah. And I feel like because that's a state that we're constantly in, we need practices like this even more to help us feel grounded regardless of what's coming on or going on around us.
Yeah.
And I would love to hear your take on just kind of like navigating through chaos, because I feel like it's something that we're constantly always doing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And it seems like it's intensifying, just across the board, just for everybody. And it has been. I mean, we talk about this a lot, right? Where it's like, where would we be without these practical tools that we use in our daily lives? And yes, we talk about it, under the guise of meditation and, checking in with ourselves and getting in our space. But it really is using intuition and therefore bringing attention and healing to yourself in a really practical way. And it's funny, I feel like there's this pretty common, intention or idea out there that, oh, if I start doing this spiritual work or meditation, that it's all going to be like solved, or I'll be at this place where it's like all better, and then I can just go on. But as we know, it's really all about knowing that you can rely on yourself no matter what happens, no matter what comes your way. And so we're able to just show up and be more present, meaning not pushing it away, and more relaxed rather than in fear about whatever it is that's happening, because like you said, something's always going to go on. I mean, we're here to grow, and so is everybody around us. So whether it's with ourself or someone we know, these challenges come up, and then there's like beautiful times too, where it's like, oh, everything is wonderful right now. And it's like this great plateau of nothingness too, where it's like, everybody's fine. But then it comes up. And if you know that, okay, I can move through this, I have ways to assist myself, I think that's everything, because it takes us out of that fear that creates like anxiety or anticipating something or trying to prevent something that we've experienced before, and just allowing yourself to be right in the moment of, okay, what can I do? And if this is what I feel like this is the only thing I can do, this is one of my favorite things with myself. If I feel like I don't know where to turn, this is just it, this is all I can see, I know now there's always something more. If I can just come within, it'll open up, and something I'm not seeing, will reveal itself. And it happens. I mean, it's just, we see it over and over again when you're doing this work and using these intuitive tools. It happens. So I can rely on it.
Yeah, I think that's so true. And I want to put an emphasis on what you just said with in the moment. In the moment is where all the magic happens. Y'all, I just took a meditation class with Kathryn this morning because I was navigating a really challenging conversation with my best friend. And I was just trying to understand why I was feeling the way I was feeling very overwhelmed. And afterwards, I felt so much more at ease than I have in days. And let me just say that, yes, I am human, and I know I have these tools and I can use them all the time and do it on myself. But I also just, when you're in it, you're in it. Sometimes
Definitely.
I just get into that space. And so I'm so happy that I showed up for myself, because afterwards it brought me back to, even during the meditation, that was the most present I've been in the past couple of days. And I was really able to hear myself and to notice what was coming up for me and what was really honestly affecting me, and to see it from such a neutral place where I was like, oh my gosh, it was this, it was just this, or oh, I was just feeling this way, or oh, I should have seen it that way. And when I finished that meditation and I followed up with my best friend, and the entire conversation just completely shifted. And it was taking myself out of this fear energy or this confusion energy into a space where it's just seeing things for as they are.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to overcomplicate things and to really allow the simplicity of it all to show you what's really coming up for you.
And didn't you have that kind of awareness of, oh, it's about you, it's yours, it's not about your best friend?
100%. That's exactly what it was. It was me.
and that's empowering, because it's like that we can do something about, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that.
Cool.
I love how empowering this work makes me feel. That's the perfect word. It really is, because it's such a great reminder that you always have control over your life. And what I mean by that is how you choose to show up for yourself and what you want to take on or carry. And you have the choice to find ways to clear it out or to shift it or to change it. And when you realize that, I think there is this odd sense with being in the midst of change and chaos. But when you know that, it's like, it'll get figured out. I will figure it out at some point. It'll work itself out, because I know that I can have these different practices to help me move through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you're taking your energy out of whatever that is that you're worried about or anticipating or focused on, and bringing it back into the moment, into present time. So it's not fueling that thing out there, and it allows that to move and shift, right? Rather than when we're so focused on it, it's just keeping all the energy happening, Yeah. When you were able to bring your energy back to yourself, you actually brought transformation to that conversation just by doing that. It's really cool.
Preach.
superpowers, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like accessing our own superpowers, right? That are just there waiting to be used.
True. Gosh. Wait, what are some of your favorite tools?
Some of my favorite tools. Well, I mean, this one, the blowing up roses, exploding roses, I use all the time because, you know.
Can you talk about what that is?
I'm all. This means I'm flicking energy away from me. It's one of those ones where, especially like if I put something out there, like through communication, like if I email something or if I say something to a friend or, you know, a student or someone I'm working around, and there's like an energy, like if I say something that triggers someone or lights someone up, right? And you feel that energy, for example, you know, my mind will go into, oh my gosh, I wish I hadn't done that, or what can I do? Or I want to change that, or are they upset with me, or, you know, whatever that energy is.
Yeah.
And then what happens is I'm fueling it, right? Like we just talked about. So what I do now is I just go, okay, chill. And then I start feeling where that energy is. It's a thought, you know, and I'll create my rose. I'll create a rose. So I visualize my rose. And I just start putting the thought in it, or I start pulling it out, like, you know, imagining it coming out. Or if I feel it in my body, I'll just start breathing and releasing into it, pulling it out of me, and I'll blow it up. And I'll pull it out again, blow it up, pull it out again, and blow it up. So I'm just literally moving the energy out of my space. And then I'm not thinking about it anymore, which allows it to transform and to change. And also, usually 99% of the time, those people are not doing what we're thinking they're doing.
I know.
But because we're putting our energy in it, then they are. It's like if I'm fueling it, then they're like,
Yeah.
why do I keep feeling our energy? You know? So all the time, I mean, throughout the day, I'm just kind of imagining energy like a rose. We use roses in this a lot because they're, you know, high vibration and mystical.
Which is so funny because I'm allergic to roses.
I mean, isn't that funny? But yet
Yes.
you use them all the time. But you're not allergic to energetic roses.
True.
Those are the ones you can have. Right? But yeah, that's like one of my favorites. I just start moving energy that doesn't suit me or that I don't like. I don't like that feeling. I don't want to feel like I've harmed someone or like I'm not comfortable with myself. So it's not a deny of that. It's not like and it's not resisting it. It's saying, okay, I see that and I can move it from my space and bring in something else to shift it
Yeah.
and have a new experience.
It's so true. And I think it's so hard to conceptualize this work because it is intangible work, right? You can't see it, can't touch it. And I feel like the way that I was best able to understand it is just understanding that at the end of the day, we're all just energy. We're these like subatomic particles that form together into something that looks solid. But ultimately, we're just these little vibrating balls of energy. And when we use our awareness to bring attention to energy, whether it's within us or around us, we can change it, right? And
Absolutely.
I think that's like the overall gist of this work is intention and awareness.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. So well said. Yeah, because, you know, how do we describe it? You know, are they visualizations? You know, when I say, oh, you know, I see this rose or I imagine a rose and I pull energy out. Some people really do see it, right? They can picture this thing. Some people, you know, just kind of hear it. Some people just kind of feel it. You know, I just kind of know it's there. A lot of people just know it. It's like you just fake it. You're like, okay, it's there. But it is, because we always say the intention is real. So your intention is like where you're using your power, where you're focusing your energy to create. So it is that we are these energetic beings, and if we can allow ourselves to focus on a certain piece of energy, right, then we can shift what the energy is. And it's kind of simple in a way.
Yeah.
And like, why weren't we just brought up knowing this stuff.
Yeah.
But it is hard to articulate until you just do it. You just do it. You take 5 minutes or 3 minutes and you just do it. And you're like, oh, okay. And you feel different. So I don't even know what we have to prove. I mean, it works and I feel better. So I don't care about, what is there to prove?
Yeah.
Look at my life.
Right? I was just about to say, it really is a lived experience. I don't know how many times I've heard from my students or clients that when I work with them in these longer containers and they're just like, Bethany, I have worked through stuff in this short amount of time that I haven't worked through in years with a therapist. And I'm like, it's wild when you're actually doing it and you're in it, because from my understanding, I feel like we can work through things analytically and intellectually, right? With our talk therapy and these other beautiful ways of healing. But like the energy is still there.
Yeah.
And that's what we're working on is the residual.
Is what's layered beneath it all. Yeah. What's still hiding there. And those are the things, right, that, you're like, oh, I did all this work. And then like 10 years later, something comes up around it and you're like, okay, I thought I did all this work. You did, right? But now you're getting to that energetic layer, that core piece of, oh, there's some, programmed or unseen idea in me that still has energy attached to it. Whether I want to believe it or not, my body is holding that somewhere. Yeah. And then we're bringing attention to it and helping it, to move.
It's so true. And it is so layered, because even I have worked through things and then something will still come up and I'm like, darn, thought I cleared that out. But there's, I guess, how would you define layers and how you perceive them?
Yeah, I would say, and this isn't just me, I think this is a thing out there, but I agree with it. I see it as a lot of people do, that let's say you have a belief that's, a fear about something, or, a lack of confidence about something, or a place where you doubt yourself, or whatever this is. So every time we've had an experience in our life that triggers that, or is it similar around that, it builds more on top of it. So they call it peeling the layers, like peeling the layers of an onion, right? So when you do work on it, therapy, energy work, intuitive work, whatever kind of work you're doing, it's like you're moving all those more recent layers off. And that's why it comes up again later, especially through energy work. It's not that you're repeating anything or, it's still there. It's that you're getting to a deeper layer of it. And one day you do get to the kind of bottom one, let's say. And when that one clears or neutralizes, then it's just a memory. It doesn't have any charge on it. It's not attached to anything anymore, right? Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I see it.
So I'm thinking about how, for someone that's just stepping into the work, and not even just stepping into this work. Honestly, I still get into this space too, where there is there's a real amount of devotion to yourself that you have to keep showing up, especially when you're stressed, when you're overwhelmed, when you're anxious. You don't want to do this work. You want to go, eat some fast food and watch some Netflix and go out drinking or whatever it is. These are like the creature comforts that we're used to take care of ourselves. And not that I have anything against any of those things, but I guess the biggest challenge I always see is overcoming the resistance to choosing this instead, right? Especially with just going through day-to-day life and really, really incorporating it into how you show up for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you find yourself meeting that still too, or?
Yes. And I know for someone who's been doing this for like 17 years, that's probably not what people want to hear, but of course, yes, absolutely. It's a practice. And as we know, it gets stronger and it's easier. And I would say the difference is now I have a little more awareness of when I'm resisting and when I'm just being like lazy with myself, but it's not even lazy with myself, because that's a judgment. It's more that there is deep programming in us that says we don't put ourselves first. It just says not to put yourself first. And also that it's hard work to like, give ourselves attention, right? So there's some deep programming in that. And so I think the difference is, how I do it now is I have more awareness around it. So it's like I might be aware pretty much always when I'm doing it. That takes me out of judgment and victimhood because I'm like, well, I'm choosing it. Yeah. So at least that's one thing. Yeah. But also I'll notice, okay, after I'm avoiding it in whatever way for a while, then I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like that's stupid and doesn't work. And like, okay, I'm ready. Like, I'm just ready. Like, I'm going to pay attention to myself. It's not that hard. So I have more forgiveness around it. There's more permission around it, which means it happens faster than it would have before. Before it wouldn't have happened really at all. You know what I mean? So a lot of what we're doing is we're not trying to be in this perfect place. And it's not like we're supposed to be remembering this all the time. And, every time something goes on, I just set up my, and get all perfect, because that's another thing we're letting go of is like that we need to be perfect. I mean,
it's just not realistic.
I mean, we're here to be messy.
Yeah.
I think it's just about more forgiveness, and that's expansive. That allows us to evolve and then going, okay, where am I getting in my own way? And sometimes you might be like, no, I'm just tired and I don't want to do the work.
Honestly. Yeah.
And then other times you're like, all right, now I've done that enough. Like, I'm getting in my way. I can do this. And you just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if I answered that at all, but.
No, I mean, we're just chitty-chatting. I love picking your brain about this stuff. And I think what you said about, I'm just going to pay attention to myself. And I'm like, that is a little zingy, because that can feel really hard to do, because then it's like, well, what's going to come up? What am I about to hear about myself? And then we really start to get into that judgmental space or that fearful space of, I don't know if I'm ready to hear the truth or see or notice the truth that comes up. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that's kind of like where that neutrality comes in. Right.
100%. Yes. Right. That is exactly it. That is why in this work, we learn how to be neutral, right? And see clearly without the judgment, without the doubt, what's going on, so we can be the observer of ourselves. And then we're no longer afraid of what we're going to see. Then it's more like, well, I'm on my side, for me. So I'm curious, like, what thing am I blocking for myself now? Like, right? I wonder what this one is. It's more of a curiosity. And like, whoa, I didn't know that. And it's kind of exciting, after a while. Like when you learn to be neutral with yourself, then you're like, I'm excited to see these other ways I'm limiting myself, because it means there's so much more you can do and have.
Absolutely. I completely
neutrality
agree.
is key.
I love the curiosity. It's a great way to pivot and to have that perspective. Like, why can't I just be curious? Let me just see what's going on over here. Let me be a little nosy in my own life.
Yeah. And I love to kind of also tell myself and have this awareness of, well, a lot of the time I'm just feeling what I think or what I feel other people feel about it. And so, I get to have my own experience, So if someone else has this fear, this expectation, I don't have to have it. I mean, it's so empowering to be like, I can have my own. Maybe it'll be the same as theirs, but probably not.
Yeah.
And that gives you permission too, because then it's not about what others think or how they validate. And that's a big part of this, right? Is like when you experience yourself, then you start to validate your own self, and we stop looking outside of our own self, which allows all of this to happen.
Yeah. I love that. So let's see, 17 years in the mix. You've been leading, guiding, teaching, doing all of the things. Okay, this is a double question.
Yeah, okay.
The first one, what's been one of your favorite moments in this work that you do, or something that was really cool, or you're like, wow, or I don't know, just one of your favorite moments that you've had?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. What's the first thing that's going to come up? I mean, probably, definitely one of my favorite moments in this work is when, we have gone, when I myself and probably others have gone to these places in the astral, because we can go in meditation, right, to like a different place in the astral where like our guides are, and I love having those experiences in, what we call the Cathedral of Souls. Like those
I knew you were
some
going to
of
say that.
Yeah, because it's one of the best, right? It's so fun.
It is.
It's always fun. Going there, and for anyone who's like, what is that, right? It's just a place in the astral world. So, you just kind of take some of your awareness and you go out in this beautiful place, the Cathedral of Souls, we call it. And there's always some really cool, like you can explore. And one of the times I did it that I remember clearly, I sat in some, mystical, I don't know, wild astral room, and the guides were teaching sacred geometry. And it was just like, okay, you can ask me right now, what is that? I cannot articulate it. I cannot tell you. That is not my forte. I'm not going to talk about sacred geometry. But in that time, in that moment, and I still feel it in me, I understood it completely. Like it just made sense, and I could see it all, and it was so cool. And then when I came back, I was like, whoa, like I know sacred geometry. I don't know, I can't, but it's in me.
Yeah.
But that was just, it's like, oh my gosh, we can understand anything if we want.
It is cool. There's a lot of fun stuff we can do in this world. I think it's great. I love it so much. The Akashic Records is always a great one with just getting the tea, getting some information, like what is going on.
Yeah. Getting some help. Yeah.
I love that. That's cool.
Yeah.
The
So
Cathedral of
fun.
Souls is a fun one. I agree. I just think it's so cool that you can learn different things that you necessarily wouldn't learn here,
Yeah, exactly. And like past lives, like
we love the past lives.
we love the past lives. I mean, when I first started doing this, when I first was taking these classes, I didn't believe in past lives, and I just didn't even care about them because I was like, why do I care about a past life? I only care about this one. Right?
Yeah.
And then I experienced myself in a past life, and I was like, oh, then you start to, first of all, then I just believed it. I mean, through my experience, I just believed it because I'm like, there it is. I mean, there's no doubt anymore for me. And then I also got to understand why they're so important, that every time we're working with them, they're bringing healing into here and now, so it gets into a lot. But that's so fun too. Healing.
Did I tell you about my first past life experience in level 1? I think Ashley did.
I don't know. Ooh, okay,
oh my
tell
gosh.
me.
So y'all, I was in level 1. This is when I was living in LA, so it was in person. And we were practicing reading past lives for the first time. And my classmate was reading my past life. And she just starts telling this vision that she's having. She's like, there's a man and he's out and he's like, he had, what is it called? Like a pickaxe, I guess. But he's like he's in the farmlands and he's like tending to the land, but he's so angry and he's in a lot of pain and he's really hurting. And I was like, okay. And she was like, his name is John. And I was like, that's my father's name. Weird. And so she's telling me, she's like, I'm going to try and get his attention. And so she finally gets his attention and she was like, why are you in so much pain? Why are you hurting? And he was saying how he had brought his wife and daughter, like his family, across the lands to this new place and they died. They had died along the way. And he carried so much guilt for that because he thought that he was doing something that was going to be beneficial or good for them. And she asked him, like, what does Bethany need to know about this? And she told me that he said she needs to forgive herself. And like she can't carry this burden or this weight. And she had no idea about that I had just had my car accident or anything that I was going through. Nobody, I think at that time, knew anything that had happened.
Nobody did.
And
I have chills
for
all over my
her
body.
Yeah, for her to say that, I was in shock, and I was just like, this was for me. That was my first past life experience.
Wow. Wow. I mean, profound, right?
Yeah.
And did you feel some relief afterwards?
I did. I feel like that was a really big turning point for me because it helped me understand that there's so much more happening around me and outside of me. And the fact that I've experienced this guilt and burden in the past and that I don't have to go through that again or in the same way.
Right.
And that it's possible to forgive myself at some point. It really gave me permission to kind of dig into this work even more for myself and to do the work and to show up and to give myself that permission. Like, I can grieve, I can experience this pain, but I can't let it overtake my life forever because I'll never be able to step into another phase of my life where I have grown past and grown from this, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you feel it. It's like your first past life reading, and you feel that healing that happens when we read it. And that's what's so important about seeing it and reading it too, is that it gets validated and gets healed for the person, right?
Yes.
Which is so powerful. And that was like I think that was the second class.
Yeah.
So what's also amazing for people to know is, I mean, it doesn't matter if you've ever done this stuff before, ever. You can read a past life in 10 minutes if you just show up for it.
It's so true. It's so true. And
because she'd never read past lives before.
No, that was which is wild.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Wow. And that kind of actually just makes me think about everything that you're building now with Ground and Gold.
Yes.
Right? And
that you're part of.
That I am a part of. Wait, can we just talk with everyone about Ground and Gold? Because I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. And I'm so excited that this is kind of like a culmination of just all of your knowledge and everything that you've done and everyone that you've taught into the baby.
Yes. Well, we finally have a platform where we can all show up. So, that's what Ground and Gold is. It's not just me, it's you and all of our peers, everyone who's been through all this incredible like training, and you're all teachers and practitioners, so that you can guide others to finding an experience of themselves, where they can have a place to go back to and to find when they need it, and teaching them these tools to bring into their lives so that, as you said in the very beginning, we can all navigate from a place of empowerment and with, more ease, and bring in joy, especially in this crazy world that needs that, because everything is hard in many ways. It doesn't mean we can't, even more so do we need to bring in joy and permission and, community and like compassion for others. So, helping people to get in a place of neutrality with themselves where they can do that rather than being in all the energy that's out there. I think it's so divinely timed that this is what we're doing, and we're all creating together. Yeah. And it's, it's an online platform so that anybody can access it. It doesn't matter. I have a class. Most of my classes right now, like 50% are not even in the US. They're just not even in our country. Yeah, 50%, like in most all the classes.
Whoa.
It's kind of wild.
America, we got to get on this.
I know.
We got to get
all
it
these
together.
Other countries. That's so true. It's so funny. Yeah, so that's what it is. And then, of course, we get to do things in person in our own communities, and, teach people in person is so fun too. But there's no time or space with any of this. It doesn't matter that it's online. You can have it in this moment. So Ground and Gold, grounding being the very first thing we do. We ground, we get in our body so we can release and we can receive. And then we do all this amazing stuff. And then Gold, bringing our own life force energy back into our space, replenishing with our own energy so that we're full and then protected from all the other energy out there from whacking us. So that's what the name is. That's why it's Ground and Gold.
I love it. And I also love that all of like the facilitators and teachers that are a part of this, they're all so different. Like all of the classes are so different. They go across every theme possible from motherhood to manifesting and everything in between. And I think that that's so cool because there's something for everyone. And I think everybody has a really cool teaching style that's different too. And so there's just like a flavor for everyone.
Yeah, because these are just tools. So you bring your own, signature to whatever it is you teach.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
I love that. What kind of offerings do we have on Ground and Gold outside of the like the shorter meditation classes that people can kind of join in throughout the week?
Yes. So there's drop-in classes. There are workshops which are, longer and, just a little bit more engaging, let's say. And then there are the certification programs. So they are, let's say, they're longer programs that it doesn't matter if you want to be certified or not, but you will get certified because you're going to learn to read energy and you're going to learn to do healings. But it's really about empowering you, because the process, right? The process of reading energy is healing. We have to like move through our doubt, move through all this thick energy, this fear, this invalidation in order to do it, in order to be able to see clearly and read. So you're getting this huge healing through the experience. And that's how the curriculum is set up. So, some people come in to have this like self-healing journey. And that's what the program's for. Yeah. And that was me when I initially did it,
Yeah.
And then other people come in, that are like Reiki masters or, shamanic healers or, whatever. They're already doing some kind of healing work and in this kind of conscious industry, let's call it. And they're coming in. So those people are coming in to get boundaries. So they're not taking on other people's energy when they're working on them, because that's a huge thing we learn in this kind of work. And also to learn to communicate and interpret what it is they're seeing. Because a lot of people out there are doing the work, but they don't know what, they know this person's getting healing or this thing is releasing, but they don't know what it is. So it strengthens that. So, whoever you are, you're going to get what you need, depending what your journey is and your intention.
Yeah. I love that there's something for everyone, for sure.
Yeah. And then we're building a bunch of new things right now. So, in the new year in January, there's going to be a whole bunch of new programs and series and things like that.
I love this so
Lots
much.
to
I'm
come.
so excited. Yeah. I think that my last question that I have for you, just thinking about everything that's happening in the world and everyone's lives. Honestly, I feel like this past eclipse season has been so wild. So many endings and beginnings, but it's been a lot. And I would love to hear your take or your input on why do you think intuitive healing is so important today?
Why do I think it's important today? Well, I think it is the way of the future. I think it's the whole transformation that's like happening right now in humanity, which there is a transformation that's happening. That's why there's so much unrest. I mean, there's always been unrest. There's always been struggle, but it's so heightened and surface right now. Like it's really being shown. And I think that's very purposeful because it's bringing these opposites, into focus.
Yeah.
Because we are going through a big transformation to really get rid of all that dichotomy and merge more. And, without getting into all these terms, but some of them are kind of fun.
I 100% agree, by the way.
Right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I
mean,
see it.
We're moving from, the 3D version of our experience into this 5D version of our experience. I used to resist all that terminology, but now I'm like, it's fun. It's fun. Who cares? Go with it.
Right, just words.
It's true. well, yeah, because it's just kind of, it's like to do this work today it's basically saying, why are we only using these certain senses that we've been told that we have? Why aren't we using the other senses that are available to us? Like, why aren't we doing that? this is the time to learn. This is the time to know it's there and available for you.
Yeah.
It's been there forever, always. And that is how we're going to get through this shift and transformation of where we're headed, like as a humanity,
Yeah.
So it's hugely important, in my opinion. It is, if you don't have access to your own self fully, you're going to have a much harder time. And, a lot of people are getting stuck and not evolving. And that's very painful. It's very painful because even with all the challenges, as long as you're evolving, you're not carrying the pain of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what expansiveness is. It's like freedom.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah. So I just am like, it's huge. I mean, teach it in schools.
Yeah. And it is important to be able to have the tools to return to yourself, because I feel like, especially through all of this evolution and transformation that's happening, there's also just as much outside noise and opinions and distractions that are taking us away from really having that clear vision on where we're actually headed, and so these tools are going to be so important.
And I think what you just said, that energy out there is purposeful. It meaning just dense energy, doesn't want us to have access. That's how it's going to thrive. But if we have access, which means we're able to be in a higher vibration, the higher frequencies always win. We just have to get everybody else on board.
Yeah.
It's like if we're all in the higher frequency, that lower stuff cannot stick around.
Yeah.
But it will fight it, So it is kind of this battle of the light and dark in that sense. But I mean, not really, but it gets a little, but really this is like, it's really embracing it all, right? Because we all have like heaviness and dark and shadow side in us. And it's like not being afraid of that, not being perfect, being messy, a lot of forgiveness and navigating. Because if I can forgive myself and experience and hold accountability for myself, I'm not going to put my blame and fear on others. It allows them to expand. And then look, everybody's thriving.
Wow. Yes. That was beautifully said. I totally agree. I agree, obviously. I think that's a really beautiful perspective to have. And I think it's important to remember as we continue to move through this next phase of human evolution, and to always keep that little seed of hope, that little golden little seed of hope within us, that there's something more and there's something so much more aligned for everyone if we just continue to rise above the resistance of it all,
Absolutely. Yes. Persevere.
I
can do this.
I know. Well, thank you so much for joining me today
you.
and just having a little chitty chat about the magic of this world of intuitive healing. And I'm so excited for Ground and Gold. I think it's such an amazing platform that's going to reach so many people that need to see it and be a part of it. And I'm just so excited for everything that's to come and to be a part of it.
Me too. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you so much,
Awesome. Thanks everyone so much for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.